Welcome students. Today we are dealing with class 10th biology respiration part 2nd. In this we will deal with human respiratory system. So the human respiratory system, it has main part is lungs. We know that gas exchange takes place through lungs. So first there is the nasal cavity, then there is the pharynx. After pharynx there is a trachea. Then trachea divides into two parts which are called bronchi or bronchus. Bronchus is singular and bronchi is plural. Then bronchus divides into bronchioles. So there are many branches which are called bronchioles, and bronchioles end into alveolus or air sac. There are millions of air sacs. The lung is covered by a single layer. It is called pleura. Actually, in microscopic view, pleura is double layered, but it looks to us like a single layer. At the bottom of the lungs, we can see that there is a membrane which separates the thorax or chest from the abdomen. It is called diaphragm, and in normal state the diaphragm is dome shaped or a curve. Here we can see alveoli, enlarged view. So these are the bronchioles, and we can see bronchiole divides to form alveoli or air sac. Now the lungs are the main respiratory organs. They are found in the cavity of thorax or chest. The human respiratory system has nostrils. Nostrils are the openings. Nasal cavities, it is the cavity inside nose. Then pharynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli. The bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli are found in lungs. So this is the pathway of air. First is external nostrils. So external means outside. So these are the openings of nose, and they draw or take in air from atmosphere into nasal cavities. The nasal cavities, they open into internal nostrils. So these cavity, they open internally and air enters pharynx. The pharynx, it is a tube which leads into trachea. Trachea is also called windpipe through a slit called glottis. So there is an opening between pharynx and trachea which is called glottis. Trachea, it runs down the neck and enters thorax, and it divides into two branches or bronchi, the right and the left bronchi. The bronchi are two tubes, and they enter into two elastic and conical structures called lungs, which are enclosed in double-walled sac called pleura or pleural membrane. It is called. It protects the lungs. The bronchioles, the bronchi in lungs, they finally branch into smaller tubes, and it is called bronchiole. So bronchi are big tubes, and they divide to form small tubes called bronchioles. Finally, there are very small bag-like structures which are called alveoli. So bronchiole opens into many thin-walled balloon-like structures called alveoli. There are approximately 1 million alveoli in a lung. The respiratory organs have certain modifications for exchange of gases. So why does exchange of gases take place only in respiratory system? Because it has certain modifications which are not found in other organs. There are mainly 4 modifications. The first is nostrils. So the nostrils have fine hair in the passage, and these hair filter air from dust and other impurities. So dust cannot enter and bacteria etc. cannot enter. They are trapped by the hair, and we also know that mucus is also produced in the nostril. Now the trachea has rings of cartilage. They are made of cartilage so that the air passage do not collapse, because when air enters the trachea, it is possible that the walls will collapse or the two walls will come closer if they are made of muscles. That's why they are made of cartilage, so that they do not collapse and the passage is not blocked. The alveoli have one cell thick walls. So the alveoli are only one cell thick. So it means that diffusion can easily take place, and the wall of alveoli have a network of capillaries connected which help in easy exchange of gases. Now students, you might be knowing that capillary also are one cell thick. So it means gases can easily be exchanged because alveoli has also one cell thick wall and capillary also has one cell thick wall. So diffusion can easily take place. Now the mechanism of breathing. So what is breathing? Breathing is a complex mechanical process. Mechanical means physical process. It involves muscular movement that alter the volume of thoracic cavity. So by muscular movement or movement of muscles, the volume of chest cavity is increased or decreased. And finally, the lung which is inside the cavity, its volume is also increased and decreased. So breathing is a physical process. It is involuntary. So breathing is not under direct control of brain, but its rate can be controlled. So at what rate? It is faster or slower? It can be controlled by respiratory center of brain. So in brain there is a part called respiratory center. Breathing involves two steps. The first is inhalation or inspiration. In this we take in atmospheric air into thoracic cavity. Now how do we take air? So there are certain changes. The diaphragm becomes flat. It contracts. So the diaphragm, which was a thin membrane, it becomes flat. So the volume of lung increases. Then external intercostal muscles. Now these muscles are attached with the ribs. They connect the lungs to the ribs. These muscles also contract, and as a result the ribs are lifted upward. They are pushed upward. As a result, volume of thoracic cavity increase. So now we see that diaphragm becomes flat, so it moves lower. Intercostal muscles contract, so the ribs also pushed upwards. As a result, the volume of the cavity increase, and we know that if volume of a cavity increases, the pressure of air, it is inversely proportional, so it decreases. As a result, air from atmosphere enters the lungs because it will move from a region of higher pressure to a region of lower pressure. Here we can see the mechanism of breathing. In the A diagram we can see inspiration. So air enters the lungs. Why? Because ribs and sternums are raised, so they move up. Diaphragm is contracted, so it moves down. As a result, this cavity will increase and the pressure of air will decrease. So what will happen? Air from outside will enter the lungs, and while in expiration the reverse will happen. Diaphragm relaxes and moves to its normal position. The ribs and sternum return to original position because the intercostal muscles now become relaxed. The volume of thoracic cavity is decreased because diaphragm moves up, ribs move down. As a result, this cavity is decreased. So the pressure of air increases and it moves from inside the lungs to the atmosphere. Now expiration or exhalation, it is the expelling or removing of CO2 from lungs. Diaphragm becomes dome shaped or it relaxes. Intercostal muscles relax. As a result, volume of thoracic cavity decrease and pressure of air in thoracic cavity increase. So this results in release of air. Now gas exchange in alveoli. So till now we saw that air enters into the lungs. After that, the carbon dioxide, it diffuses into alveolar cavity, because we know that blood has higher carbon dioxide, because blood will have all the carbon dioxide from the body. So carbon dioxide diffuses into alveoli. Why? Because carbon dioxide higher concentration is in blood and less in alveoli. So any gas will move from a region of higher concentration to lower. So CO2 enters into alveoli, and alveoli, as we know, they had oxygen which had just come. So it diffuses into the blood vessels. So oxygen enters from alveoli into capillaries, while carbon dioxide diffuses from capillaries into alveoli. Oxygen combines with hemoglobin of blood to form oxyhemoglobin, which is transported to cells. Here we can see this is alveoli, and from alveoli the blood enters, the oxygen enters into the blood capillaries. We can see that alveoli is also single layered and the blood capillary is also single layered. And here we can see oxygen combines with hemoglobin to form a bright red colored oxyhemoglobin. Now finally the oxygen, it has to reach the cells. So we know that in cells continuous respiration takes place, or glucose is broken to form CO2 and oxygen is used. As a result, in the cells there is always a more concentration of CO2. So in cells always more CO2 and less oxygen. So when oxyhemoglobin reaches the cells, it breaks because it has more oxygen and the oxygen enters into the cell. So we can see that in the whole pathway, the gases move from a region of higher concentration to lower. Wherever carbon dioxide is higher, it will move to a region where it is lower. And wherever oxygen is higher, it will move to a region where it is lower. So finally, carbon dioxide is expelled from cells, then to blood, then alveoli, and finally atmosphere. And oxygen enters first into alveoli, then blood, then into cells. So there are three main steps. First is breathing. It is exchange between atmosphere and the lungs. Then there is exchange between alveoli and blood, and finally it is exchange between tissues and the blood. Okay children, thanks.